Guys, I don't want to keep on going into too much detail because this video is going to be like an hour long, but I just love when the production and the lyrics and the artists, when everything is in sync, like everything has the same sort of message, like everyone's on the same page. Llona, Llona. Remember his name. So this album is so special to me because I had no expectations listening to this. I just heard a lot of good reviews, but I thought, okay, never heard him before, let me give him a listen. And from going into this as this guy's a stranger to me, never heard him before, to by the end of the album, this is probably crowned my best album of the year, means a lot. Like, it is a powerful, spiritual, healing sort of message. From the way he uses the pain in his voice to storytell, and the way each track has a lesson you can learn, the way one song flows into the next song, the musical interludes, like this project is a perfect work of art. On the topic of art, I saw that this cover art for his album was actually shot in front of his home in Kano, and that is the only like house that's ever felt like home for him, because apparently he used to move around a lot. He's sort of known as a nomad. If you see the left of the picture, it kind of fades away. So it's kind of representing that, yes, this is a memory of home, but also shows that this memory is fading away, but it's still important to him. So I think it's just quite beautiful how they use the art to also reflect his story that this album shows. The album starts with the song Still Scared, and you can hear the intro like dun 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 dun, and in the background it's kind of like waves are crashing. You hear like a child's voice, but you can't really hear what they're saying. It sounds distorted. So it kind of seems like he's either dreaming or like reminiscing, but as I said before in the cover art, the memory is quite distant. Then you hear the backup vocals, which is a bit high pitched, and then the bass, like, duh, it comes in very heavy, very soulful. It kind of gives the song like a deep, sort of sad sound, and then his voice comes in filled with pain. It kind of pierces your heart. I do what I do for you, not favors. And you hear like a piano sound, like a constant in the back. Again, it kind of adds to that like deep, sort of depressing sound, but that leads on because the next line is saying, stuck in a place where you can't, like, no one can save us. And it's like, wow, like this story is beginning with a lot of pain, like you're feeling stuck.
I do what I do for you, not favors. Stuck in a place where they can't save us.
So he's sort of sharing his story, but you can understand now why there's so much pain in his voice. For him to even sing like death is the only thing that can save us, like it makes me deep. How hard must life be where the only answer for you to be at peace is to die? And what I love about this bit is the representation of what a lot of Nigerians are, resilient. So he's like, death is the only thing that saves us, and then he goes, but here I am, and it's like the bass sort of emphasizes this resilience by going dun 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 dun. Like the bass sort of adds to that. I am still here. Like, yes, I could be dead. I should be dead. The way life is treating me, I want to die sometimes, but here I am. And it's like the instrumental sort of gets more powerful.
That is the only thing that saves us. More I be lying if I say that I'm not scared.
Then he goes on to sing the chorus where he's like, I'd be lying if I said that I'm not scared. The honesty he has to just sort of spill his emotions out and share like how he feels and what he's going through, because so many people go through the same things and act like, you know, they're invincible, but he's here like saying, listen, I am scared, I am lost, but here I am. And it kind of makes me feel like this first song makes me feel like we're in a classroom and he's sitting down and just sharing his story, and I feel like a little child just listening, like learning from him. He is, maybe he needs therapy, but he's also being a therapist to us as well. This is such a strong song to introduce Llona to me and other people. I don't want to keep on going into too much detail because this video is going to be like an hour long, but I just love when the production and the lyrics and the artists, when everything is in sync, like everything has the same sort of message, like everyone's on the same page. So this bit, yeah, I love how the music stops abruptly and then it's like, and they hustle, duh, duh, duh. And it's like, and the hustle where I carry go. And then the next line is, nothing to lead them and make I carry gold. And it's like, that message is so important. And for us to really deep what he's saying, the music had to like stop abruptly. So when he goes on to sing, saying I make music, baby, party flow, like he doesn't make music for leg work, so you to do leg work, Zanku, and then go home. Like he's making music and he's preaching because he has a message and he needs you to hear his story and also inspire you on your own story. So I just love this bit of the song.
And this hustle way I carry so. If you to live that more make I carry go. All the struggles say my body know. Say I know see music, baby, party flow. Where I'm coming from, nobody knows.
Towards the end of the song, you also hear more glimpse of hope. So when he sings, and I know my ship day on course, you hear like the piano, like a high pitched sound going, dun, dun. It kind of sounds like a shooting star. It kind of gives more like life to the song. You know, obviously it started off quite heavy, but this high pitched sound, it gives it a bit more like lightness.
And I know my ship day on course. For family to enjoy.
Yes, he feels lost. Like, yes, the surroundings may be a disadvantage, but he knows that his ship is on course. He has hope in his journey and his hustle. So it's just the beauty of, again, like I said, resilience. Even the beautiful musical outro at the end, it kind of gives you a chance to sort of reflect on what he's been saying and reminisce on your own memories maybe before leading into the next song. So you can hear the piano, and the piano goes, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 and you hear like an eagle like thinking about this eagle sound. Before I said it makes you kind of feel like you're in the wilderness, but then also when you think of the eagle, like I'm a Christian, so in terms of the Bible, eagles soar, and it's always like you will soar like an eagle. So I think it has a double meaning. Like, yes, like lost in the wilderness, he can still fly high and fly to high places that he's never imagined. I love how this song ends with that lady, her soothing voice saying, "Hear my songs of sorrow, my tales of turmoil." This is the start of his journey. We're tapped in, we're locked in, listen to his story, and we want to know what goes on next, if he survives, if he fails. And I think this is such a beautiful opening to a beautiful album. And while she's talking, you just hear the violin stealing the show as well in the background.
Hear my tales of turmoil. The sky, my roof, my feet, the sand kisses.
One thing about me, yes, I want an album to just be cohesive. Like I want it to sound like one long song. So I love the way how Still Scared, the note is like da-na-na, and then when it goes on to the song Commander, it starts off with the sort of same note, but it's like da-na-na. So it sounds like it's the same song, just like a part two.
Finding light in shadowed alleys.
I love how this song is called Commander. So as the first one is about, okay, his journey, about being scared, but still being resilient. Now it goes on to like basically talk about the battle, like talk about the fight and how he's equipping himself for this journey. So I love how the lady says, finding light in shadowed alleys. Again, a story, a tale, a message about not giving up, about persevering, finding a light at the end of the tunnel. Before he sings, Listen, Commander is speaking, there's still like a long pause where you can hear the piano. It's sort of a continuation from Still Scared. And then when he starts singing, the flow changes, the tempo quickens up, and it's like, okay, now we're ready for war.
Listen, Commander is speaking. I'm here for a reason. Cannot drop your weapon.
Once again, the production, the instrumental is reflecting the lyrics. So this song again is about being a soldier, and it's like the focus now is more on the drums, and you can hear the beat. It kind of sounds like you're marching to war. It gives you this sort of army soldier feeling. So there's two layers of drums. The first one I can hear is a do-do, da, do, da, do, da.
Commander is speaking. I'm here for a reason.
The second one was a bit hard for me to follow, but it kind of sounds like a marching band sort of drum roll. It was like
So fucking treason. It's what I believe in. Believe in my spirit. Make me from.
Apologies guys, I couldn't get the drum, but you know what I mean. And then he goes on to sing about his battling with his demons. He has to conquer and divide them. Sometimes the battle is not even about outward influences, it's in ourselves. It's a battle of the mind. He's been very transparent. He's being real about his struggles that he has in himself with his mind. And he's saying, yes, you're a soldier, but you cannot die in silence.
You can be a soldier, but you cannot die in silence.
So when the chorus starts and it's like, if it is for me, I will never say no. To God, I need a sign. And he made a rainbow, I sent a rainbow. I can literally physically hear the instrumental sort of like rising up in confidence, the same way you can hear his confidence. Like, yes, he's not still scared like the last song, but more he's like sure of himself, like he knows this is for him. Backing vocals, the instrumental, like the song is a bit more packed, like it's not as down, and it's more like, okay, something is happening, like something is rising in him.
If it is for me, I will never say no. To God, I need a sign, and he made a rainbow. My life is on the line, if my brother says so. It's a different journey, but we on the same road.
Something I've noticed again with this album is all the songs have a steady, mellow pace, even though some are a bit more quick tempo like this song, but they're still very steady, and it's like he's not in a rush to tell his story. He's taking time, he's making us like really deep and listen to what he has to say. He sings, you know, I came from nothing, so I'm on my 10 toes. There's a difference, right? When you're grinding, because you've come from nothing. So it's basically like do or die, music or die. There's this resilience and then this pain. They put it into their music. I couldn't find the lyrics for this bit, but in the background there's like a sort of kind of interlude where a man is talking, but in the background it's like a soldier. This message now paused his singing, and then you can hear like a motivational speaker just saying, "What's up, soldiers? You know you have to go through hell to get through paradise. Like remember that." You're hearing the advice, you're getting more pumped up, and then the guy's voice has like a lot of authority. So yeah, it just kind of gives the vibe, like I said before, like you're out in the army taking your commander's advice before you go for war.
What's up, soldiers? Stand your ground, man. Gotta go through hell to get to paradise. Remember that. Fight for your brothers, man.
This Wizard Chan feature had me sat upright like, wow. The voice carries all the emotions in the world. Like it's so unique, it's so heavy, it's so spiritual and soulful. Like the way he enters like, and then the way he's like, oh yeah, like it just pierces your ear. Unfortunately, I don't understand what he's saying, but it's like, you know, the message is heavy, and I think this is the perfect feature for this song. A song about battle, a song about war. You can hear the agony in his voice. Pain is the essence. That's where the fight comes from, when you dig deep within. So I think his vocals plus Llona's vocals plus the guy that's talking in the middle plus the woman's voice at the start, like this whole song is like a motivational song to get you going and get you set up right and get you ready for war. I've got an early start tomorrow, guys, so I'm going to continue filming track 3 to 6 on Saturday. So today is Thursday. Well, it's almost Friday, it's almost midnight. But yeah, I will continue the rest. Good night. So in Commander, we've just spoken about that life of a soldier, getting ready for war, do or die sort of mentality, knowing that it's going to be tough, but we're getting ourselves prepped up for it. And then we go into Can't Breathe, and I feel like even though Can't Breathe, the instrumental is quite catchy, it's quite mellow, the message is actually quite deep, where a lot of youth can relate to this kind of feeling suffocated in their situation. So the intro has a light sound, it's like da, 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 and you can hear his vocals like ooh, and then the drums come in. It's a very light sounding drum. It's like dun 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 dun, going on with this mellow vibe.
Dreams are not debates.
Many Casablanca, we don't pause.
I love the way he enters this song and the choice of flow. He's like, how many Casablanca, wait, don't burst. And it's like a cliffhanger. And then you can just hear the piano like a little tiny musical interlude, like, da. And then he goes back to the flow.
Many Casablanca, we don't pause. Too many Kayamanta, we are don't trust. I'm not a Filiganka, and I stop on. You fucking with the gangster, when I pump us, I'm a guy eleganza. She dey front push, I spread her like a cancer. If she want fun, yeah.
So before we go into the lyrics, I love how there's a change of mood here, and before you hear it in the lyrics, you can also hear it in the instrumental. So as I said before in other songs, when the message is getting deeper, it's like you can literally hear the instruments getting louder, or there's more layers added to the instrumental. So now you can hear the piano chords like da, 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 da.
And my nigga say I can't eat, and I know we enter this road cause of bandits.
Another layer added to the instrumental is the bass. So when he's like, oh man, I can't breathe, you can literally hear the bass like dun, dun. This again adds to the emotion, the pain in what he's saying.
And my nigga say I can't eat, and I know
Llona is using his music to express the realities of life, and he's being completely raw, completely transparent. He's literally saying he can't breathe to the point where he can't even eat. Like that is how much, and that is how hard the battle can be sometimes. And he's like, can you understand me first before you begin to contraband me? So again, like, yeah, during a war, you can pretend like you've got it all figured out, but he's literally singing that you know what, he doesn't. Like, he's in this fight, he's in this war, but some days it literally feels like the war is choking him, and it's expressing like his pain of being like maybe misjudged or mistreated. He can't go into certain roads because of bandits. And I saw that he was born, or he lived up north. So that's the reality of like that time when Boko Haram was going on. Like, there's real life issues and things that are affecting the way he lives, and the things that probably shaped him and shape his music.
Oh man, I can't breathe. And my nigga say I can't eat. And I know we enter this road cause of bandits. Understand me before you pick it contraband me.
And the line here when he's like, always thought when I'm 23, I will win a Grammy. Like, I think the reason why people love this song so much because it is so relatable, and it's like a story of things that you kind of wish for. Like, maybe when you're younger, you have these dreams, you have these hopes, you have these ambitions, but the reality hits you, like life hits you, and you realize, okay, maybe I can't get to this dream at this certain time, but it doesn't mean the dream is dead. It just means you have to work harder and maybe work for longer to achieve that dream.
Always thought when I'm 23, I will win a Grammy.
You hear his beautiful voice when he's singing, they want to hold me down, I'm not your homie now. And I don't know if this is interpolation, but he kind of follows that flow of Adekunle, okay, okay, when it's like, this ain't your fight, I'm not da. You know I'm not your problem. Oh, yes, so Adekunle, okay, okay.
They want to hold me down. I'm not your homie now. I carry my gun and shoot.
Also, before he goes, they want to hold me down. I love the violin. It's like, da-na-na. And you can hear the ad libs in the back going, like, they want to hold me down. Eh, oh, oh, eh.
They want to hold me down. I'm not your homie now. I carry my gun and shoot.
This song is so intentional. Even the sound you can hear like him lighting it, but like the lighter sound. And it's like, okay, you know, when you're high, you can be vulnerable, you can talk about emotions more. This could be him with his boys now expressing how he's feeling, like a very real conversation. Unfortunately, a lot of people that are suffering, they turn to substances and drugs to get away from the pain. You can literally hear him like either high or about to get high, telling his story. Alright, I'm going to try and keep the reviews minimal because I'm talking too much, but again, after the chorus, now the layers of instruments are stripped away and it's back to the piano, and then it's a second verse where he sings, I'm living life like an animal, like an animal.
I live it like an animal, yeah. Living life of a party man, you know.
Again, adding to what I said before, the song even ends with him like inhaling smoke. You can hear like that sound, so it just kind of confirms that I feel like this is more of like him just being in a vulnerable state, probably high, being transparent, maybe just talking to his boys, really spilling his emotions on how he feels, like how life is choking him. Life is tough, and sometimes the only thing you can do is escape for the moment, and that's what being high gives you, that feeling of like, let's just forget about what's going on right now. But then sometimes when you're high, it even brings the memories and the thoughts to the forefront. So which is why he's probably here, like he's trying to get high to escape how he's feeling, but it's actually making him talk about it and express it more. And this leads on to track 4, where it's talking about another day. So yes, you can be high for the moment, you can be in your thoughts and feelings, but the reality is you still have to face the situation, face what's going on. So you either rise up to the challenge and fight, or you let life finish you. Again, I love how so far this album is organized. If you know my content, you know I'm not a lyrics person, but the way Llona entered this song, the more we listen to his songs in this album, the more we understand the hustle, like the determination, like we understand why his voice sounds the way it is. Like there's just so much passion in what he's saying. So you know how I said in the last song, I feel like he's probably high with his boys talking about how he feels. I love how this song, the next song, literally starts with just another day with my brother, man. He's telling him like the burden that he's got, it fit kill a man, like the burden is so heavy it could probably kill him. And he's saying how there's no other plan B, like it's just music. Again, the passion, the determination, like this has to work.
Just the other day with my brother, man. Girl, I say this body fit to kill a man. Can I only you where they understand me? See now only music, I don't get it plan B.
He sings, every day I wake up is another chance, and I carry family for other hand. Again, it goes back to, well, this is how I saw it. When he says on Can't Breathe, I carry my gun and shoot. So it's like he's fighting on one hand, the other hand he's carrying his family. That line for me was just so intentional, and the way he articulated the struggle, where it's not just he's singing, he's fighting so he can get clout, he can get money or whatever. He's literally bringing up his family with him. So he's multitasking, he has so much responsibility, like heavy is the head sort of thing.
Every day I wake up is another chance. And I got the family for other hand.
When he sings, trying to be a blessing to my motherland, I love how the bass goes, dun, dun, dun.
Trying to be a blessing to my motherland.
Even though the message is quite deep, the instrumental gives this like light, sort of like a bouncy, kind of like a childlike feel, and the piano's like dun, 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 dun.
Trying to be a blessing to my motherland. Maybe one day they gon' understand this. I'm brave.
So this light upbeat nature of the instrumental kind of matches what he's saying now in the lyrics, where he's like, I'm praying for my life every time, but I'm up all night, patiently waiting for sunshine. Then the line, passion and talent, all of them combined. Like he knows that he is going to make it. Like I think some people just know that they have a calling, they know they have a talent, they know they're too good to not make it in this life. It's all about timing. So I love how, yes, as I said from the start till now, he has mentioned and he has focused on like all the things that have kind of gone wrong, but he always has this like sense of like hope and resilience and belief in himself that he's going to get through it.
I'm praying for more life. Every time I'm on board night, patiently waiting for sunshine. Passion and talent, all of them combined.
As a listener, I'm listening to this and I'm feeling encouraged. Like he's singing, I'm on the road for a long, long ride. End of the day, we could pour more wine. He's singing and we're hearing him say, like, although the journey's long, we can't see the light. At the end of the tunnel, there will be light. There's going to be a day of celebration. And it's like knowing that the journey is going to be long, equipping yourselves and being ready for war and being resilient and just carry on going, carry on pressing forward. It's just very encouraging, like, for people listening to this song.
I'm on the road for a long, long ride. End of the day, we gon' pour more wine.
Then he goes back to another day, another problem. So it's like he's going back and forth between, yes, having hope, but also understanding the reality of his situation. There's a musical interlude where you can just take time to deep what he's saying. He comes in, guns blazing on full speed, full force, like, you gotta pay me what you owe me. They're nothing to control me.
You gotta pay me what you owe me. Ain't no fit to control me.
Then he goes on to give us more insight about where he's coming from, his story, saying if we knew the struggles that he had with growing up with a single mother. I think I read that, again, yeah, he's from up north, but they were a bit of like nomads, so they used to move around a lot. And they grew up in the time, or he grew up in the time of Boko Haram and all that fear of bandits and things like that. And I think he had a stepdad, but I think he was saying he wanted to make it for his mom to get her away from his stepdad. So that probably came with a whole nother like trauma. And he ends this song with repeating the line, if I get money, then my mind don't rest. If I get money, then my mind don't rest. Relating heavy to the title, Another Day. The hustle never stops. Like until he gets the money, until he makes it, he's going to carry on waking up another day, facing what he has to face and conquering it.
If I get money, then my mind don't rest. If I get money, then my mind don't rest.
Okay, this next song, HBP, High Blood Pressure Remix, featuring Bellish Murder. I'm going to go into it in more detail because I want to do a breakdown later, but this is probably my best song, and I think it's to do with more the instrumental, if I'm being biased. I won't lie, guys, I felt like a kid in a candy store when I heard this intro of the song, and it's like there's instruments like a violin, a piano, like log drums going in and out, weaving in and out of each other. So the first like instrument, like the overlap basically, so the first one is like dun, and you hear like a dun, 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 dun. I can't hit this note because the bass is so deep, but that's what adds to like this exciting sound. Dun, 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 dun. There's also like a xylophone kind of sound, like dun 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 dun. Log drum comes in briefly. It's like dun, 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 dun. I don't know the exact word, but I love when artists, before the song drops in the intro, they just start singing a few lines, kind of like a freestyle or ad-libs. So this feature is Bellish Murder, and his voice is, he has the most soulful voice, honestly. So I love how he starts singing in the intro and he's like, you can tell I love Afrobeats because out of all the songs in the album, I think this is more up-tempo, and I think Bellish Murder is the perfect feature on this because, again, his voice has that distinctive soulful sounds. Everything comes together, and in my ears, I'm just having some sort of musical orgasm.
Do you really want to waste my time? Carry water, quench my vibe. Really tryna take my life with you. Really change your mind.
try not to be distracted, because even though the bass, the drums, the piano, they're all in competition, they're going in, they're making you want to dance, even though his songs are not really for dancing. This one, you kind of want to vibe to it. But he's spitting bars, he's literally saying some OGs, no be OGs, some brothers, no be homies, like don't know peace till you know peace. Like he's teaching us a lot in this song.
Some OG, no be OG. Some brothers, no be homie. Don't know peace till you know peace. That's your life on the low.
I love the subtle flow change here. So before he's like, some OGs, no be OGs, da 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 da. But now he's like, they won't try, but they no reach. I'm outside, but not low key. How they gonna learn if I no preach? Pause. Let's just wait and deep that lyric. How they gonna learn if I no preach? Whenever I hear songs and artist is manifesting like what is going on, it just gives me goosebumps, because I wonder if he knew this album would literally be like a therapist sort of guide, comfort, like a lesson, something of like a book for people to read and learn from. Like, did he know he was gonna do that with this album? But it's like he has so many points, so many lessons that we're learning from him. So hearing like how they gonna learn if I know preach, it's like true, fair. It's also the beauty in knowing that regardless of his circumstance, like what he's gone through, the journey he's been singing about, the knowledge, like the thing that sets him apart, like his unique sort of star power, whatever, it's from within. He knows he has a voice, he knows he has a message, he knows he has a calling.
They won't try, but they no reach. I'm outside, but not low key. How they go learn if I no preach? If you know things, there be no peace.
I love about Afrobeat artists is when they mix Yoruba and English, and it just sounds so smooth and sweet. One side, but they no reach Ejaming bonus I no fee cam. Money only find person where see cam. High blood pressure if you go think cam.
One side, but they no reach Ejaming bonus so I no fit cam. Money only find person where see cam. High blood pressure if you go think cam.
I also love the ad-libs in this bit. High blood pressure if you go think and then there's another ad-lib, it's like go think.
High blood pressure if you go think. High blood pressure if you go think.
Then Bella just enters and slides, and he's slippery and he's slopery, if that's even a word. He just smoothly transitions into this song. Da 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 da, and his voice, I said like Yoruba distinctive sound, like he's literally just weaving. He's absolutely flirting on this instrumental.
Past few days I don't learn lesson. 247 I'm still guiding. So Joe don't kill your own person. Matter don't cast. Omo you don't change.
I mentioned the cohesion of this album and how every track just flows into the other. But again, like the last song was talking about another day and just waking up to the hustle and the fight. And this song, they're basically talking about things that happen or things that they've seen on a day-to-day basis. Like someone has killed the wrong person. The title High Blood Pressure, like when you actually sit in deep the reality of life, when you're deep what's going on, if you reason it too much, you can go mad, you can get high blood pressure, but you just have to keep going. And Bella's saying like, listen, this life, you just have to live it. You can die young, you can die old. The realization that tomorrow isn't promised, which again leads back to the chorus. Man don't start today older, got no time for no slow-mo. Time waits for no one, you have to seize the day. You have another day, which means you have another chance. And literally he was saying here, money only finds person where seek you literally have to go and get what's yours. No one's gonna give it to you.
See this life I go live, I'm short life, long life, anybody feel die.
Man don't start to the old, got no time for no slow-mo.
Bonus sound that I can hear at the end, it's like a piano going dun 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 dun, and then like a trumpet or like a trombone. It's a deep sound. It's like dun dun dun.
Pressure if you go think. High blood pressure if you go think.
I had a light bulb moment, guys. I was about to move on to the next song and I was like, wait. So before I said the instrumental is so like fun, it has this Afro beats, like rhythm, dance vibe that you kind of forget like, oh, this is deep, like this album is deep. I feel like in a good way, the fact that this song is upbeat, it's a way of distracting us like from overthinking our situation, overthinking the L's and the sad times. So yeah, the instrumental matches what it's saying. Although they're still talking about the suffering they see day to day, it's also saying, listen, if you think about it too much, you're going to go crazy. High blood pressure if you go to camp. Okay, so I'm going to quickly summarize the rest. So the next track is Stranger. And I think this song is definitely like the epitome of pain in this album. And it's just talking about you're a stranger to me. Like, I can't believe your nature. So I think it's more about betrayal. As I said before, he mentioned something about wanting to make it to get his mum away from his stepdad. So this could be about his stepdad. It could be about a friend. It's very relatable because we've all gone through some sort of like betrayal, like hurt from the ones that we love and cherish the most. And you can hear like a saxophone in the background. I've always said the sax is a very passionate instrumental. So yeah, the vibes is really like of agony and pain.
Nobody tell me say that's how you gon' be, but I cannot let my family bleed. Oh, you just a stranger to me now. My mind is made up. I cannot believe you. This is your nature.
Honestly, life can be so hard. Like, you're dealing with all these things from the outside, from strangers, from people you don't know. Then on top of it, people you love the most are also hurting you as well. But it's all part of the journey. And then he goes on to Gangsta Love Letter, and he actually starts the song with, I don't trust no person. So again, as I said before, the cohesion. So he's gone from talking about betrayal, being shocked, but now he's like, okay, this is the sort of the effects of being hurt and how that shaped him. I love this vibe. It's like Afro, hip hop, rap type of vibe. And he's basically just talking about the effects of hardship, suffering, betrayal on his love life. But he's saying that although he's got like a hard shell, he still has a soft side for his babe, maybe. But he's also talking about it's hard to find love when you haven't got money. He's relating to a lot of people. He said it's hard to find love when money no day, which is true. Like, how can you be looking for love, especially in Nigeria where love is transactional? He's flowing on this sort of Afro hip hop instrumental, and you can hear like a strong bass and a nice poetic violin. And then we go on to track 8, Cold War. And I want to say, whoever said Fave should jump on this song needs a raise, because when I heard their vocals, Fave is like the female version of Llona. Like, they've both got this unique, distinguished voice that carries so much emotion and soul. Like, she's the perfect feature for this. And although their voices blend beautifully in this song, the message is quite depressing. It's just talking about how the battle, how war or life is cold, how family can kill family. The older they get, the more things that they experience in life, they're realizing more and more it's a cold world, like there's no love in this world. And the line when Llona sings, so many things, but I know talk, it's like, well, on track 8, we've been literally listening to you spill all these kind of traumatic events in your life and things you've been through, but you're saying there's so many things that you haven't even included. It just, as a listener, you just realize, wow, like he has been through so much, but the fact that he's turned the pain into something beautiful, like a beautiful body of work to encourage us, honestly, I actually applaud him.
I've been done dirty. This life be discovery. They burn me out like honeybees, hold me up to pedigrees. I heard them say they don't believe, and I heard them say they don't believe.
Guys, I can't skip past this bit because in the verse now she goes, should I learn quicker? And it's like when she says quicker, she quickens up the flow as well, and she starts riding the beat. She's like, should I learn quicker? I'm an unbeliever. Shoot down competition with the fake losers. And it's just so cold. Cold war, cold verse.
Should I learn quicker? I'm an unbeliever. Shoot down conversations with the fake losers.
This song makes it into my top 5 collaborations of this year.
I paralyze, but I don't fall. So many things, but I don't talk. Word on my side, so I know fall. Only one soldier when I go.
How can Fave drop a 10 out of 10 verse and then she comes in with some crazy ad-libs and it's like a pillar of passion over the lyrics?
You see that there's no love. Only one Llona when I show up.
Llona and Fave have just had this outburst of emotion singing about how cold life can be, and now we go on to the song Comforter. So the intro has this soulful bass and then piano sound, and then you hear like a burst of the drums that give the instrumental like a rhythmic sort of bouncy melody. It has me bobbing my head and it's like a cool Afro fusion vibe again. In this song the drums are so soothing and it's soft, and then you hear his voice singing beautifully again, building on from that story of betrayal and how hard life has been in the Cold War song. But now he's talking about, okay, how did he get through it? This one is more to do with like the dependency on substances. So he's saying that the only person when there was no one there for him was the dealer or drugs. The point where he's singing, if I don't smoke weed, then I cannot sleep.
If I don't smoke weed, then I cannot sleep. Don't notice, say I cannot breathe.
Track 10, this is probably one of my best songs, Billy and Paper, and it has a more optimistic vibe to it. It's more like looking towards the future. So yes, he's spoken about being alone, needing drugs for comfort, Cold War, the battle, betrayal, but now it's like, okay, what is he working towards? What's all of this for? What's all of this journey? What is his goal? So the intro to this song has a more like uplifting, angelic, lightweight type of vibe. So you can hear the piano. Dun, 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 dun. You can also hear the sound of shaker it or shakers in the back, and that also adds to that lightweight, happier sound. Even in this song, before he starts singing about a positive outcome, he still has to mention the adversities he's gone through. Him singing about the darkness is kind of backed up and emphasized by the bass guitar. So when he's like, darkness is my, the bass goes, dun 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 dun, dun dun.
This is the only road. I only see myself on this lonely road. I can't tell what.
When you get to the chorus in this song, it sounds like the instrumental is like an orchestra, and then you can hear his backup vocals, like all these layers to make the song sound so beautiful. And it's kind of like in this part of the album, like this track, he's having a beautiful spiritual awakening where he's singing, trying to make a billion on paper, shout out to my day one chasers. His voice sounds energetic, like full of life, like, yes, I'm trying to make a billion, I'm trying to be a billionaire, and it's not just me, there's so many people that are joining me with the hustle. So yes, even though I do feel alone, loner, I'm realizing that a lot of people are in the same position as me, and this is probably why he wanted to produce this sort of album, to encourage all the hustlers, to encourage everyone that's in the same position, that you're gonna make it, you're gonna get to where you want to be.
Trying to make a billion paper. Shout out to my day one chaser. No be only me, don't face her. Plenty people wait, don't face her. If I make a billion paper.
I'm gonna have to unpack this song by itself and do a breakdown because it's a beautifully created song, beautiful production from start to finish. Track 11 is Rollercoaster, and the title is sort of self-explanatory. Like, this whole album has been a rollercoaster of ups and downs, of the war, of the battle, of betrayal, of hope, of resilience, of optimism. Like, it's just a wave of different emotions. But what I want to talk about with this song is the lady's voice at the end stood out to me. She says, "This is a story of a boy painting portraits of pictured promises, of daring dreams from a broken bed."
This is the story of a boy painting portraits of pictured promises, of daring dreams from a broken bed.
This dialogue at the end, it basically summarizes this roller coaster of album into 4 lines. Again, the reality of this is a boy who, he can't help what he was born into. He has so many dreams, he has passion, creativity, the skills, the talent, but his harsh reality is his surroundings of being on a broken bed. But I think us listening to this album, the fact that he's been able to create a body of work, he's got writers, he's got production, like, he's made it this far, that just shows that yes, the boy that had all these dreams is not still on the broken bed, he's moving forward. So I guess it kind of gives us, the listener, a glimpse of hope, like, okay, like, the journey is just beginning, but he's going up, he's soaring like an eagle. The position of this last song stood out to me. Track 11, Rollercoaster, that could have been the perfect ending to this album, like a summary of the journey he's gone through. But the fact that the song Forgive Me, and I think I mentioned before, the song about Stranger, I think it could be towards his stepdad. 2 things, it's like he's spoken about all this pain he's gone through, but maybe the most significant pain, or the pain that, the most lingering pain, is the pain of maybe betrayal from his stepdad. But in this song, Forgive Me, is speaking about the person forgiving their dad, even though he didn't feel like he's forgiven his dad. Maybe him producing this album, maybe him singing, maybe him learning about himself through this journey has caused him to be able to let go of the anger, and now he's forgiven his dad.
God gave me plenty ability. He gave me plenty agility. I'm not perfect and I don't wanna be. I just want to carry my family. More plenty.
Then the song ends on a powerful note where the actor has a dialogue again, and he's basically saying he wrote a script where the characters forgave their abusers, and then that's when he realized, wow, he actually has forgiven his dad. And the song ends with the guy saying, "I forgive you." So to me, it's like, okay, this could mean the deepest hurt he has faced, either his stepdad or whatever it is, he's basically saying, you know what, I forgive you. Like, I'm not focusing on this anymore. I'm not focusing on the pain. And I think it's just beautiful how it's a lesson for all of us. Like, there's no point holding on to bitterness, because the more we hold on to the anger and bitterness, we're hurting ourselves more. But when we forgive and let go, we have room to grow, room to love again, room to thrive. Llona is a perfect example of why Afrobeats is so clear from the rest of other genres, because when people come from the trenches, when they come from pure pain, and what keeps them going is the music, they don't just produce songs that are just quick bangers just for money, even though they do want money, but they actually have substance behind what they're singing. Like, they have a story they want to tell, like they've got a voice, and there's actually certain people, I really feel like some people are sent by God to deliver this message. It might not be in the most like religious way, but it heals people, it encourages people, it gives people strength. And I think this is just the beginning for Llona. Like, and I'm happy that we get to experience the start of his journey. But honestly, this album is so beautifully like thought out. Like the writing, the production, like every song has a meaning, every song has a message, and the instruments, as I say, play a great part in telling that story. And honestly, I can't wait. There's so much more to come for Llona. And yeah, this is definitely my album of the year now. You know, when people say it's deeper than music, this is what Homeless is. It's deeper than music. The message literally saturates your being and just makes you want to hustle harder, and makes you want to be thankful for life, and just makes you want to carry on pressing forward despite the circumstance, despite what you've gone through. 10 out of 10 album for me.